Everybody told you the same lie. Go to college, or you will end up broke. The trades are for the people who could not make it. So millions of people took on years of debt for a piece of paper. Meanwhile, a quiet 24-year-old electrician just paid off his truck in cash. No student loans, no degree, and he already out-earns half the people who laughed at him. Because here's the thing nobody tells you about electricians. It is not a dead-end job. It is a ladder. A ladder that starts with you getting paid to learn from day one and climbs all the way to owning a company worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Today, we break down every single level of an electrician. The real hours, the real license, and the real money at every step. From the apprentice sweeping the site to the owner who never touches a wire and just cashes the checks. This is every level of an electrician. Let's plug in. The whole trade runs on one idea most people never get told. In college, you pay to learn. You go into debt for years and you earn nothing. In the trades, they flip it completely. You get paid to learn from your very first day. An electrician finishes training with a license, real skills, and zero debt, while the college grad finishes with a piece of paper and a mountain of loans. That head start is worth more than almost anyone realizes, and it only compounds as you climb. Because at the top of this ladder, you stop trading your hours at all. You own the company, and other electricians make you money while you sleep. So keep one rule in your head the whole way up. Effort gets you in. A license makes you money. Ownership makes you free. Now let's start at the very bottom. On day one, level 1, the apprentice. This is where every single electrician starts, no exceptions. And getting in is simpler than most people think. You do not need a degree. You do not need experience. In a lot of places, you can start at 18, straight out of high school. You find an apprenticeship through a union hall, a trade school, or a local electrical company that is hiring. You pass a basic aptitude test, mostly reading and simple math, and you show up ready to work. That is the whole entry fee. No 4-year wait, no loans. And here's the part that breaks people's brains. You do not pay to be here. They pay you. An apprentice earns a real wage from day one, usually around $18 to $22 an hour to start. That is roughly $40,000 a year to learn a trade. Compare that to a college student paying tens of thousands a year for the privilege. But do not get too excited yet. At this level, you are the bottom of the food chain. You haul the materials. You dig the trenches. You sweep the site. You fetch the coffee. You are basically getting paid to be the muscle while you watch and learn. And there is a clock ticking the whole time. To move up, you need hours, real, logged, on-the-job hours. In most places, that is around 8,000 hours of work, 4 to 5 years, plus classroom time at night, learning the code, the math, and the theory. It is long, it is humbling, and a lot of people quit right here. But the ones who stick it out are quietly building something the quitters never will. Because every hour logged is 1 hour closer to the thing that changes everything, the license. By the end of your apprenticeship, you are earning close to $30 an hour. And you have zero debt, a real skill, and a license exam in front of you. That exam is a doorway to level 2. Level 2, the Journeyman. You pass the exam, you earned your license, and everything changes. A journeyman is a fully licensed electrician who can work on their own, with nobody looking over their shoulder, and the pay jumps to match. A journeyman electrician typically earns $60,000 to $75,000 a year. In a high-cost city or a strong union, that can push well past $90,000. Think about that. By your mid-20s, with no degree and no debt, you are out-earning a huge chunk of college graduates. This is where a big fork in the road shows up. Union or non-union. Go union, and you often get higher pay, better benefits, and a pension. But you follow their rules and their work. Go non-union, and you get more freedom and flexibility, but you are more on your own. There is no single right answer, but every electrician has to pick a lane here. At this level, you are the workhorse of the entire industry. You are the one actually wiring the houses, the offices, the factories. And here is the quiet truth. A lot of electricians happily stop right here. Good money, always in demand, a skill that can never be shipped overseas or replaced by a robot on a screen. It is a genuinely great place to land. But the ladder keeps going, and the next rung is where the real money begins. Level 3, the Master Electrician. This is the top of the technical mountain, the highest license there is. To get here, you need years more experience as a journeyman, and you pass an even harder exam. And a master electrician can do things a journeyman simply cannot. They can pull permits, they can design entire electrical systems, they can legally supervise other electricians. That authority is worth serious money. A master electrician usually earns $80,000 to $100,000 a year, and often more. But the license itself is the real prize, because in most places you cannot legally run an electrical business without one. A master's license is not just a pay bump, it is a key that unlocks the 2 levels above it, the ones where you stop being just a worker. By now you have spent maybe 10 years climbing. You have real mastery. You are the person others come to when they are stuck. And you are standing right on a line. On one side, you keep working for someone else at the top of the pay scale. On the other side, you start building something of your own. Most master electricians never cross that line. The ones who do are about to change their entire life. Now, before we climb higher, let's talk about a shortcut hiding in plain sight. Because not every electrician does the same work, and some kinds pay a lot more than others. Meet the specialists. These are the money multipliers. First, the lineman, the electrician who works the high voltage power lines up on the poles and towers. It is dangerous. It is brutal in every kind of weather, and it pays for exactly that reason. An experienced lineman can earn well over $100,000 a year, and far more with overtime and storm work. Next, the industrial electrician, the one who keeps giant factories and plants running. When a machine goes down, the whole factory bleeds money by the minute, so they pay a premium to keep that person close. Then there is low voltage and data, security systems, networks, smart buildings, a cleaner, quieter, fast-growing corner. And the fastest growing of them all right now, solar and battery. The electricians wiring the energy future. Here is the rule underneath all of it. The rarer and the riskier the skill, the more they will pay you for it. A general electrician makes a good living. A specialized one can make a small fortune. Same license, same start, a very different paycheck. Level 4, the foreman. This is the first rung where you stop being just a pair of hands and start being a leader. A foreman runs the job site, the crew, the schedule, the materials, the whole flow of the work. You are still an electrician, but now you are also a boss. And the pay reflects it. A foreman or site supervisor often earns $90,000 to $120,000 a year. But the money is not really the point of this level. The lesson is, because for the first time, your income is not about how fast you can work. It is about how well you can make a whole team work. That is a completely different skill, and it is the exact skill you need for the top of the ladder. This level is a training ground. Whether you realize it or not, you are learning how to run a business, which is the only thing standing between you and level 5. Level 5, the electrical contractor, the owner. This is where the whole game changes. One day, the math finally clicks. You are out there wiring a house for a customer who pays, let's say, $8,000 for the job. And you realize your boss keeps most of that while paying you a small slice of it. So you ask the only question that matters. Why am I making someone else rich with my own 2 hands and my own license? So you take the leap, you get your contractor's license, and you start your own electrical company. At first, it is just you, a truck, and a phone that you are praying will ring. Then one job becomes 2. You get too busy, so you hire your first apprentice. And the day that apprentice earns you more than you pay him, everything clicks. And now the job completely transforms. You are barely an electrician anymore. You are a business owner. You worry about bidding jobs, winning contracts, insurance, payroll, and finding electricians you can trust. The first year is genuinely terrifying. Almost every dollar goes right back into the business. But if it works, everything is different. Because now you do not get paid for your own 2 hands. You get paid for the work of your whole crew. You send 5 electricians out on 5 jobs, and a slice of every one of those paychecks flows back to you. Your income is not a wage anymore. It is profit, and profit has no ceiling. A single well-run electrical company can clear well over $200,000 a year, straight to the owner. And here's the final move most people never even think about. Because you did not just build a job, you built an asset. A profitable electrical company with steady contracts and a trusted name is worth real money. One day, a bigger company comes knocking and hands you a check to buy the whole thing. Years of climbing turned into one number with a lot of zeros. For a career you started getting paid to learn with no degree and no debt. That is the entire ladder, from the trench to the sail. So here is the real lesson underneath all the volts and wires. At level 1, you sold your effort and they paid you to learn. In the middle, you sold your skill and the license made it valuable. Near the top, you sold your leadership and started running crews. And at the very top, you stopped selling your hands entirely. You built a company that other people's hands could run for you. That is the jump almost nobody makes. From being paid for your time to owning the thing that pays you, even while you sleep. And it is not just electricians. This exact ladder exists in almost every trade and almost every job. The steps are always the same. Get in, get skilled and licensed, then get ownership. The trades were never the dead end everybody warned you about. They are one of the last places you can start with nothing, no debt and no degree, and climb all the way to owning the whole thing. Now maybe you are watching this thinking, okay, but how do I actually begin? It is more open than you would guess, and you do not have to be 18 to do it. People switch into the trades in their 30s and 40s all the time and finish debt-free while their office friends are still paying off school. Step 1. Search for electrician apprenticeships in your area. Look at local union halls, trade schools, and companies that are hiring helpers. Step 2. Sign up for the aptitude test. It is basic reading and math, not a college exam. Step 3. Get in, log your hours, and do not quit in year 2 when it feels slow. That is exactly when most people fold. Everything after that, the license, the specialties, the company, is just climbing the ladder we laid out today. The hardest part is not the wiring. It is deciding to start. So what can you actually take from this, even if you never touch a wire? 1. Getting paid to learn a real skill beats paying to collect a piece of paper. Look for that setup in anything you do. 2. A license, a certification, a rare skill, that is a moat. It makes your work hard to replace and easy to charge for. 3. The real wealth was never in the hourly rate. It was in owning the thing that other people's work flows through. Effort, then skill, then ownership. That is the whole climb, in 3 words. The electrician who started in a trench and ended up selling a company was never lucky. He just refused to believe the lie that the only ladder worth climbing needed a degree. If you want to see every level of another job and exactly what it really pays, subscribe. We break down every level of every career and every dollar, drawn simply. Now go build your ladder. I will see you in the next one.